What's up, y'all? I'm PC McCray. You can call me P.
Hey, y'all. My name is Shaun the Head. You can call me Shaun the Head. And this is the Everything Has Changed podcast.
From 2 college roommates to 40-something adults, life has been lifing, and we want to talk about it.
We are the new adults, y'all.
How did that happen?
I don't know, P, but we got to talk about it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Hey, y'all. We were still jamming off of our last podcast. I've been listening to the playlist.
You like
and
it? We did
I've
a
been
good job.
jamming, having a good time.
I said, this
Oh
is
my
so
God, the
us.
music.
This is so us.
It's so us.
It's so us. And I think, too, so it's one playlist right now, you guys. So this is where we landed. So right now we have one playlist, but you know that like every episode, music comes up.
Pretty much.
We end up singing something off key. Okay, don't mind us. But so I think for now, what we're going to do is just every time we touch on a song or something, we're just going to add it to the playlist. And that's how we'll tackle it for now. And all that to say, there are some songs that we've touched on in previous episodes, so those are going to be added to the playlist this week. So by the time you're hearing this, it should be all the way live for y'all. And again, we do still want suggestions from you guys, like as far as anything, honestly, that we talk about musically. If you got anything you want to share, we always want to hear that. And then we're going to continue adding to the playlist too. So I'm excited, P, because, it just makes sense for us to have a playlist, right?
It makes sense. It makes so much sense. And it just connects to what we're talking about. And it's just us, our music.
Now, but did you go back and listen to did you recognize the Kirk Franklin song once I finally found it? The Looking For You song?
So no. Yes
really?
and no.
I don't remember. They don't play it in Florida.
Well, I don't listen to the radio either anymore.
Okay.
Okay. But the song itself, I was like, it didn't hit me. And like you said, I was like, she did say it was a fast song. I was like, okay. I was naming all the slow songs.
But I was too. I could not remember. But that's why I was like, let me get these people the lyrics too. Maybe I'll see why it be hitting me the way it be hitting me. Okay.
Yes.
So when I found it, I popped back in. I was like, let me read y'all the lyrics. Okay. For all my people in the struggle. I said, Lord, that's me, Jesus.
He's so funny. Oh my God. No, I love it. I love the playlist.
Yeah.
It's just us. But how are you doing this week? How are you?
I'm doing good this week. I will say the past 6 months has been just stupid hard. As you know, because that was another reason why it took us a second to even get the podcast started, at least on my end, because I was like going through so much when we were trying to get it off the ground. And so this year, we talked about on the earlier episode just about like how we're dealing with stress and things like that. And I know we talked to people about the artist way, and I was talking about doodling and things like that I love to do, and watching my white boy shoot 'em up shows. But Reacher is back out. I need to catch up on my Reacher, because the Reacher is a perfect white boy shoot 'em up. I love me some Reacher in real life, and yeah, he's hello, okay. But that's but okay. Well, moving right along. But I will say this.
Hey, Reacher.
Hey, Alan. Okay. I really am back on my books now. And I said I wanted to mention it to everybody because I did not realize how much of a stress relief it was for me. I'm realizing it now, maybe because I'm, in my 40s. But I grew up reading a lot. Mommy was a reader, avid reader. So I was an avid reader. So I was reading all the things, kids like Goosebumps, that's an R.L. Stein, Christopher Pike.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Of course, Judy Blume and the Babysitters Club. That was even earlier. And then I got to the point where mommy allowed me to read her books, which meant Stephen King all day, every day. I couldn't much get into the mystery thrillers like the Jack Reachers. Like she loved those kind of books, the Dean Koontz, all that. But the horror was my thing. So I'm talking about I ran through all them Stephen King books back in the day, all that kind of stuff. I was so heavy into reading. And again, it's another one of those things I forgot. I just forgot, Pete, because and not saying I'm not into reading. I have been the past few years. It's literally been nonfiction and nonfiction only, meaning like business books. Basically, I'm heavy into because as a small business owner, it's a thing, right? And personal development books, and I love a good memoir. But I was off the fiction, and we do have a book club. Shout out to the book club. We just call it the book club. But we've been doing it like, yeah, we just
The
the
book
book club.
club.
We just the book club. But we've been doing it literally for like 15 years. But you get older, the meetings start getting fewer and farther in between. And then when COVID happened, you would think, oh, it's fine because you can just do the book club over Zoom, which we did, but it was different. So then it was like, or
Yeah.
we could just wait till we could all get back together. And then sometimes book club is really just a social gathering, and we give us somebody who read
Yes.
the book give a summary. So I somehow got off track, in particular with the fiction. So this year, actually, the election. When the election happened, I voted at the library. After I voted, I was like, let me just go ahead and sign back up for my library card because I haven't seen it since I was in my 20s. And the lady had to look me up in the system. I wasn't even on there no more. I was like, I promise I'm a resident of the county. I've been here my whole life. Okay. So anyway,
Whole
signed up
life.
for the whole life. And it was just funny because it's like I used to spend time in the library. So it's just weird when I think about like why hey, what took me so long to come back here? So I got back in the library. Girl, nowadays you can be at the house searching. Nobody told me. Somebody should have told me. I would have been back at the library. Because I remember how we used to go and you have to sit at the computer and type in what you're looking for there, right? And nowadays you can just go to the
Mm-hmm.
library website and search and see if the book is there. And it will tell you how many copies and which location is that, which is like clearly duh. But
Wow.
this was not happening back in the day.
No.
Anyway, I'm loving that. I'm loving they got audiobook apps now. The library do the audiobooks. They got the ebook apps. Oh, I'm having a time, and it's so funny because I really used to make fun of mommy and her books on tape. We just called them books on tape back then because it even before the CDs,
Yeah.
it was books on tape, and they would give you like this leather
Books on.
binder. You open it, and it's like 12 tapes in there, and it's the whole like To Kill a Mockingbird or whatever on all these tapes. And then they moved up to CDs, and now they got them on audiobooks. And I'm doing the same thing mommy was doing. I talk big shit back when I was a kid, and now I'm doing the same thing she's doing. But anyway, I just wanted to share. I'm back on my books. I've got sucked into these series. I found my genres. Like I have certain genres that's good for audiobook, to listen to because I was never good with nonfiction audiobooks. I couldn't get through it. I can't
Mm.
too bland. But I found my genres that's good now. And when I tell you I'm going through them things, I'm on I don't read like two full series this month and we only halfway through. I'm proud of
Yes.
myself. But all that
You're
to
in
say,
it.
I'm in it and it's helping me. It's really helping my stress level. Like the only thing I think about if I'm not doing work, I'm on my books. I want to know what are they up to. I'm going to bed. I'm like, okay. I literally other day I ain't go to bed till like 3 o'clock a.m. After I finished my work, I was like, I gotta check in. No, I gotta catch up. I gotta
I
catch up with my
love it.
people. I gotta check in. And it's funny because when you find stuff that you really like or that really resonates you, whatever, I don't care what genre, whatever you into, you find one you really like, books can still do it for you. And I honestly had totally forgotten. So now I'm like, Well, now I gotta find my people that's into my same books, because I don't have nobody to talk to about this. Like, my best friends are
These
like, "Oh,
books.
that's cool." I'm not reading that.
I'm not
So
reading that one.
now I'm on Book Talk, and I'm on the BookTube, watching all the book influencers videos. I got my to be read list together, and I figured out who was more like me as far as what they. I'm having a time for. I'm having a blast.
I
But it
love
really has helped
it.
with my It really has helped with my stress level. So if you are a person who you're not in your reading era right now, but maybe you used to be, and you having some stress, take a look see, because I'm, you know, it it has taken over my life in the past couple
The
months.
look see.
Yeah, just take a look see. Um, but yeah, I'm back into reading, so I've added that in my little toolbox for just all the little things that I do, just so I don't just lose my shit. Um, but yeah,
Pretty
girl.
much.
Yeah, when we
I
log
love
off
that.
here, I'm going back into the book.
You going back to your people in the book. And to
Yeah,
the people who, so I count audiobooks as reading the book. Like, I've seen comments like, "Oh,
yeah.
audiobook isn't really reading the book." It is.
Lies.
I I don't understand.
I used to
I don't
say that too,
understand.
though. I did used to say that too, but the official peoples, the scientists, whomever, they say it is. So fine, because it does the
Yeah.
same thing to your brain. It scratches the same itch
Yes.
or whatever. And
Yes.
honestly, for me, I'm really feeling the audiobooks right now, because I can drive, and like I can get so much more reading time out of it than I could if I
Mm-hmm.
must have the book. But that being said, I'm back on my
Mm-hmm.
physical books now too. I just got me one today. I said I got to start my bookcase back up. I'm
Yes,
all here
yes,
for the
and
audiobooks
I
though.
like the
Yes,
physical
and
books. I
exactly,
like the
exactly.
smell of the books
Yes,
and the
ooh, yes,
pages and you're turning and the
yes,
fold the page and all of that. I love that. But the audiobooks, specifically when you talk about the memoir, when the author is reading. So Ketanji Brown
yes,
Jackson,
yes.
Justice and
Get it
Soror,
right, please.
Ketanji
Get it
Brown
right, please.
Jackson, Will, Michelle Obama. When you're reading these
Jada's
memoirs,
book. Hmm.
Kamala, Jada, you name it, when they read it, it
Yes,
hits so it
yes.
hits so much better. And so specifically, I enjoy the audiobooks with memoirs.
And you know what? I'll say this too, because we mentioned Will, I think, last episode too. And what you just said
We
reminded
did,
me, I forgot to say, his audiobook on Audible. I don't know if it's on like all the apps the way he did it on Audible, but it was excellent because he included music in his. And that was the first time I'd heard that. So when he would talk about, and we were doing Parents Just Don't Understand, they would play the song in the audiobook while he was talking. And then he was talking about how Willow was doing Whip My Hair, and then she stopped, and they had to argue about that, and they played Whip My Hair. And I'm not saying they played the whole song, but it was almost like
Mm-hmm.
there was a soundtrack going behind him when he would mention certain musical things. And that was the first time I had ever
Mm-hmm.
heard them do something like that. I said, he's a genius, because this was amazing. It was such a good experience. So I bought the audiobook and the book. You know me, again,
Yes,
I am
I love
biased.
it.
I am all for Will, but that was a really, really good audible listening experience, because I'd never heard it that way before.
That's really dope. That's
Yeah,
really
man.
dope. I love it. We're book kids. Now
Hmm.
what is the genre? I'm not a horror girl, so I don't.
Right.
These books that you're reading are
Oh
horror
no, not
movies.
anymore. That was what I was into Stephen King, back in high school and stuff.
Okay.
I'm fantasy right now.
Okay.
But I'm not talking I'm not talking like Lord of the Rings or stuff like that. I'm you know what it is? I'm fantasy romance. And do you know what?
Fantasy
I ain't never
romance.
read a romance book a day in my life. Not never. But I love me a good TV, rom-com. I love
Yeah.
those. I'm always in like I love to watch people fall in love. I love the shenanigans. I love the banter. I love that. Will they? Won't they? You know, Ross and Rachel. Oh, I love it. It makes me feel good, all good inside. So, but I never was like a romance book reader. And then when Bridgerton happened, and that folks was like, "Oh, well, these are books," and I'm like, "Oh, great," but I'm gonna stick with Shondaland and the way, however Shonda do it. You know, Shonda, you know, my namesake. However she do it, I'm gonna go with that. And then she did the book for Queen Charlotte because that wasn't actually a book. They kind of made that story, they fleshed it out, and she wrote the book with the Bridgerton author. And I was like, you know what? The way I be all into Bridgerton and these rom-coms, maybe I should read some romance. And I said that, but I never did. And then the Fourth Wing happened. And that is where I started this year. I just saw it everywhere. I was like, I need something to watch to read, and you know, let's just see. And I read one book, and next thing you know, I had read the whole trilogy in like a couple
The
weeks.
Fourth
And there's
Wing.
2 more books coming out, but they're not out yet. So I read the first 3 books, and then I had the worst book hangover. I've literally never had a book hangover in my life. I had a book hangover when I finished the 3rd book, and I didn't have any other books to read. So then I just reread the trilogy. So I read the trilogy twice in 30 days. And so when I was rereading it the second time, that's when I got on Book Talk and I got on BookTube. And they were like, if you like Fourth Wing, you'll like this. And so I just started creating a long list and of books to read. So I moved on to a new series. I'm loving that. And now I got to read that lady's other books. OP is so good. And apparently they call the Fourth Wing romantasy because it's a romance story, but it's inside a fantasy world. So it's not full-fledged fantasy. It's about a romance, but it takes place so a fantasy world would be something like Fourth Wing has dragons. That's what makes it a fantasy. They have dragons. Also, fantasy is like vampires or fairies or anything that's just not ghosts, even anything that's just not of this world. Any of that is considered fantasy. Okay. And so the Fourth Wing specifically is about a girl and her dragon. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's coming.
Because in case somebody want to read it,
it's fine.
I don't want to spoil nothing.
Well, it's gonna be
there's a love story in there. But that girl, it's going to be a TV series, and Michael B. Jordan is producing it.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, exactly. And the other thing about it, because nowadays, you know, I'm like, that's cool, but let me check out the author because maybe I don't want to give money. If this lady, white lady, she is a history major from way back. She's our age. She majored in history. So she specifically has a problem with the way that the government is trying to rewrite history right now. She got a problem with how they are trying to do away with the libraries. Like they just, a couple days ago, they just said that. The cast is very, very diverse. In fact, most of the people in the book are black and brown. And one of the main characters that they're going to have to cast, she's like, I just want y'all to know he's not white. The love interest. She's like, as long as he's not white, he's not white. So every time they interview her, they're like, who do you want to see? She's like, someone who's not white. She's like, I just want y'all to know this man is not white. Exactly. So I was like, I like her. And he's written that way in the book, but you know how they don't tend to, they overlook that. So she's like, I hope y'all seen, like, he's not white. All right? He's not white. But I love her. And the books are, she said she wanted to write a fantasy book for people who don't read fantasy. And so that's why it's kind of an easier read because it's not high fantasy. So now there are fantasy folks who are upset about that. But this lady, the 3rd book in that series, she sold almost 3 million books in the first 7 days.
Oh,
she set a record that hadn't been hit since Harry Potter, I think they said. That's the last time something's happened like that. Yeah. And she was a romance author.
Wow.
She was a romance author, and then this is her first fantasy series. It actually came out in 2023. The 3rd book just came out in January. When I tell you, oh my God, I went through them books so fast, and then I had to reread it immediately because the book Hangover. It was real. But yeah, Michael B. Jordan is producing this TV show for Amazon. And he bought the
Very
book.
cool.
He bought the book before it came out. I don't know how she got it to people, but he bought the manuscript before the first book was even published. So that's how long they've been working on this.
Okay. You just put us on
good.
The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros.
The only thing that I want to say is this. I really hope, because it's actually kind of a brutal book. There's a love story and it's brutal. So like, it's brutal like Game of Thrones. But there's also the love story. So I hope they don't turn it into like just the love story, because it's really kind of violent. And that's what makes it so good. It's such a good intermeshing of all of it. But yeah, it's real big right now, and she's been selling a lot of books, and I like this one. It might be too mainstream for some folks, but it was good to me, and it got me back. It got me back into reading. Now I'm on a whole new series. I'm doing good.
Excellent.
Hey friends, we're just getting this podcast going, and we're so thankful for your support. If you want to be updated whenever we drop a new episode, or when we drop some of the special things we've got coming, head on over to everythinhaschangedpodcast.com and drop us your email so you can stay locked in. Cool? Cool.
And that's what's helping you. That's your self-care.
Yes, because remember we were talking about, I don't know, me and self-care, we're not great friends. So I've been trying. Yeah. And again, this year is about what? My inner child. So it's interesting that I'm back into books, like, 'cause when I tell you, Pete, like, we were some avid readers up in here. And again, it's just one of the things that I forgot. So yeah, it's really, really, really been helping me. What about you, Pete? Have you had any more self-care thoughts since our last conversation? What are you looking like these days with your stress level?
I'm not doing well with my stress level, and my stress is increasing. So I have to find a better way to release. Disclosure. So it's round 2. That's the only thing I can come up with. I'm taking care of my father. And now he was the sick one. He had several illnesses. And Mom and I took care of him and made sure he was okay. And now she has gone on, and he was doing all right, but now it's ramping back up. And he has dementia along with other health issues. And it's just the last 2-3 months, things have just rapidly increased, and it's insane. And I'm just trying to balance it all and make sure that he's safe and he has what he needs. But the disease affects people differently.
Yeah.
So you don't know. So with him having previous brain injury due to stroke and seizures, it didn't present like Mom's presented. But the way it is presenting, it's like, okay. When he had a seizure, he had a seizure in March, not this March, but this is 2017.
Okay.
And he was in the hospital to a rehab, back to the hospital to rehab till August. He didn't come home until August. So from March to August, yes. He had a seizure that was 30 minutes.
30 minutes, P?
Yes.
Was this his first seizure?
That one.
Did y'all know that he had a seizure disorder at that time? Or was this new information?
No, it was new. Because of the strokes, the scar tissue from the strokes essentially triggered seizures.
Oh my goodness. I did not know anything about that.
Crazy. Who knew?
Scar tissue from a stroke? Wow.
Who knew the damage? And so 30 minutes. He shouldn't have. The man is a walking miracle. First of all,
Yeah.
we
Very
all, the
long
whole
time.
family, say he has 9 lives. I mean, that man, I've seen him revived. I've seen him on the breathing tube before. I found him on the floor. Like with Dad,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
been a thing. And then Mom was the one who surprised us all.
Yeah.
It was like, wait,
Yeah.
what? Huh? Hold on, because she was fine. You know, she had her typical issues. She did have breast cancer, but it was we caught it fast, and she had radiation, and it was okay. But it's with him, and so now in the grief process, still with Mom, and the round 2 of someone who has dementia. I'm like, okay, I'm trying my best to find the balance and the peace and ways to relax, like you're saying. And the things that used to, or that was working, it works sometimes, but sometimes it's not. It's not. And I tend to zone out. So I used to like, if I'm watching something funny or a good movie, a good film, I'm watching it, but then I'll just zone out, and I have to come back to focus, or music, and just, I just have to find a better way. So life has been lifing for sure, but God is good all the time. And I do what I can when I can, and when I can't, and when I don't feel like it, I don't. That's the one thing. I don't have the capacity for a lot. And when I reach that threshold, I'm doing so much better with being like, nope, can't do it. I can't do it. Like, I literally, my mind, I can't give nobody else no more advice. I can't, nothing. Like, I was just like, I can't do it. My brain is, it's met its match right now. I am at the max. It's met its max. Excuse me. I'm trying to find, like, you have rediscovered this joy that you have for little Shonda. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I need to think about little Phyllis. What does she need right now?
Yeah, P. Because I will say this too. I only got there. I didn't get there really by even saying, "Hey, what would I enjoy?" I was doing things, and in the doing, in the being present, I think was what helped me, because I've just strive to be present, okay? Because I had reached a point where it's like you, the capacity level being so, and sometimes I don't think people can really understand that until they're in that kind of a space. But if you've been in that kind of a space, you know exactly what somebody's talking about when they say that. You don't take, you don't take it personally or anything when a person don't have it, you know what I mean? But when I was being present, when certain things were happening, or when I was doing certain things, then I would be like, oh man, yeah, this feels good. And also, I remember way back when I would do this, it felt good. And I'm like, oh, wait, I used to do it a lot. Duh, because it felt good. It's almost like it opened, you know what I mean? Like, it opened a little doorway for me doing. And so I wasn't even looking for things. I was just doing it. So even like with the reading, last week, I was like, oh, bitch, you used to be a reader, though, for real, though. Like, we had to give all of our books to like the secondhand bookshop. We had books, you know what I mean? But I
remember the house, yeah.
And so it's like, maybe if you're interested in seeing, like, hey, what little Phyllis want, sometimes even the thinking of it would like bring my anxiety on. And I'm like, well, I can't think of shit. So, hey, Shaun, she must not want nothing. But maybe if you're when you're doing something and you're feeling a little smidge of joy, then maybe try to lock in and be like, oh, wait, what's that? Why do I like that? What was I just doing? Okay, I was listening to music. Okay, well, who were you listening to specifically? And you see what I'm saying? Like, maybe that could be a different way in. I know that that's how I got in, but also I was not at a place where I could, oh, well, what do you want to do? Or what can you do for self-care? What can you blah, blah, blah. I couldn't even get there. And that's also another reason why I was like, let me tell the people what I've been doing, because that was also it's basically what pops up in front of you. And it's kind of, it seems weird to describe it that way, because it's like, well, Shaun, that means it's not anything I'm doing. That means it's me reacting to things that are going on. It's like, yeah, exactly. Like, that was all the capacity that I had. So I can just tell you how it happened for me. If I was on Instagram and this popped up, or if I'm on TikTok and the book girly popped up, I didn't go looking. I just found myself in front of some things. And then I was like, this feels good. Or this, and like I was telling you offline, I just ordered my first physical book in a long time.
Yes.
And not a nonfiction. I'm talking about, strictly on my novels. Okay. And because I kept seeing myself like holding it in my hand, I'm like, oh, okay, I've been reading the ebooks, I've been on the audiobook. It's time for me to get me a physical copy. It's time for me to get some highlighters so I can highlight some little quotes and I can put a little tab. And that's literally just because I saw someone else doing it. I'm like, it feels like I would like to do that. And if I have that little, it feels like I like to do that, I just go with it. I just been going with it. This year I'm flying by the seat of my pants, P. And so, but you're a structured lady, okay? You like order. But all I can say is, if something, like me just now, I'm like, hey, this book. So it's like, I see you looking over on, okay, let me check out Amazon. Let me see what this book say. Oh, if you feel then it's like, just follow the, that might be easier than, let me figure out what I would like to do. And let me figure out what, it's just one more thing on your plate. Maybe don't add something else on your plate. Maybe just try to listen to the, what's that? Just listen to the, what's that? Maybe.
I do need to, the weather has been beautiful, although minus the pollen and stuff down here. I need to get outside more. I need to get back to my workout, get on my bike and go on some bike rides. But
you do be riding your
bike. Yes, girl, I have a really nice bike, trek bike, and we have a trail not too far from my house. So I usually would do like 14, 16 miles.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I have a little system, had my little snack, my protein bar in my backpack. So I would get to a spot and then I would get off and rest and have my little protein, because one time I did not do that and almost passed out. So I had to realize like, you need to have your drinks and all that good stuff. But I think that's what I need to do. But when your mind is so full, it can make your body tired.
Yes.
And so I've just been so tired because my mind has been going, running nonstop. By the time it's time to like just stop and I get a moment and I could go outside, or I should, I'm like, my body is physically tired. And we talked about it in previous episodes. When I get stressed, it manifests in physical. Yeah. And then the stomach pains they start. And so that has happened. Those started up.
No.
Phyllis, yes. Phyllis cannot afford to go to the hospital. That is not the place we need to be. So I do need to quickly find something to like just chill out. My little godson, I think I'm gonna go see him. I haven't seen him in a little bit, and he's 16 months, and he's all over the place. So I have a good time with him. Yes, child, that boy. So when I'm with him, he makes me laugh, and so I'm gonna go see him when I have some downtime. And I'm just figuring it out, but I know I was hitting a point where it's like, okay, this is not sustainable.
Yeah.
So we have to figure something out quickly. Praying, I do my journaling, I listen to my messages, the word, all those things. all those things, my daily routine, praise and worship, all those things still happen, but it's like, that's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. And so I just gotta.
We go through phases too. It can be kind of jarring when something that used to work doesn't work anymore. But then we just gotta remember, as we keep growing and evolving, or just even changing just from living, I just always try to tell myself, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's always like, wait, that didn't work. It's supposed to work. I had already got my process down. I do this, and then, but maybe it's just time to find something else to add to your toolbox. Do you do anything? Is there anything, P, that you do with your hands?
Like building? Building
Anything,
something or painting?
Oh, could be. Well, yeah, because some people like to do Lego sets. Yeah, painting. Some people like to cook. Some people crochet. Is there any hobby that you have that, besides biking, where you physically do anything? Drawing or anything that requires you? Because that's another thing that I have noticed. It's like the pressure. I don't want to say, because it's different for everybody. But what I noticed for me is like, me, when I'm emotionally damaged, when I'm triggered emotionally, which is it is kind of different from like a stress thing. So I'm like, it's different for everybody. But when I have emotions and I'm very upset or sad or whatever, and I do something with my hands, it's almost like it comes out of me. And then I'm at least able to get back to a stable ground. So like for me, that's the drawing. But for some people, like I said, they do Lego sets. I said I was actually going to try that out. I also said I was going to try out crocheting. But I do think there's something to, especially for people, if you haven't tried anything like that previously, doing something with your hands, I think there's something that happens. I ain't no psychologist. I ain't know nobody, actually. I don't know shit. But it's like it gives it something, somewhere to go. I don't know what that is.
You know what? When I think about it, like I like putting together furniture. So, IKEA scares people. Yes. When we first moved into our house, the things that we would buy, if it required to be put together, I would do it. I'd get my music going.
Oh, I hate that. I hate doing that stuff. I would hire you in a heartbeat.
I loved it. Yes, I love it. Anything that needs to be put together, I'm down for it. So you're right. And that involves like hands and steps, and because like you said, I'm structured, so maybe puzzles too. I don't know. Ooh, I didn't think I was a puzzle girl, but maybe puzzles. I'll try it.
I had got back into puzzles. I was so happy. I was like, hey y'all, I'm getting my stress out, all this stuff. I had set up like a table and put, and there, see, Thomas, that's when she started discovering places of the house. Now nothing's safe. So I got all these puzzles. I ain't got nowhere I can do them because I would have to put them up that night.
Oh yeah.
No, but
she was like, what is this?
What is this? And she started, I'm like, oh my God, I'm working on that for 2 weeks. But that's exactly what I mean, Pete. Yes to the puzzles. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. That just reminded me. And but yes to the putting the stuff together. And for some people, it's also cleaning. For some people, they put on their AirPods and they clean, and it does the same thing. So it's a whole thing, P. It's a whole thing. Let me ask you this.
What's up?
Let me ask you this, because you like me. Have you ever thought about, because it's something that I thought about, have you ever thought about like DJ equipment?
We have some. Yes. Yes.
Of course you do. It would be so perfect for you. Do you use it? I don't even mean to do it for people. I mean, that seems like you would be so good at that. Just like spend a couple of hours listening to the music and putting. That's still handsy. How does?
Yes. Oh, yes. I used
your
to.
Face looking like, well, it ain't that good.
No. I did, and sort of like what we talked about the last week with I liked finding the samples of the songs. So like how you can find when I was naming Backstabbers with Angie Stone and is a Rick Ross and Chris Brown song that used an old Troop song. So like I would make these playlists where it would play the more modern song, and then I would add in the song that it sampled. So yeah, I've done that. I've done that. I haven't. Maybe I'll get back to that.
And by the way, y'all, if you haven't listened to the last episode, it's a good one. That's the one we were saying where we started the playlist, but we talk music and all things. It's a good one. And Pete put her foot down. She schooled us on some samples too. So
the music.
Yes, that girl. Yeah.
That girl.
Pete, of course.
I have a keyboard. I have my instruments. Got a keyboard, have piano. My dad's old guitar. So I tried learning and teaching myself play the guitar. Yeah, all those things. I've tried it. So maybe I need to pick it back up. Yeah, I need to pick it back up.
I mean,
you're right. Something with my hands.
Just go in there and
something
start
with my hands.
Stuff. You know, just cut some things.
I used to enjoy like the logic puzzles too. It wasn't like a flat puzzle, but like these, not a Rubik's Cube, but that type of logic puzzle. So I need to find some more of those. I think that'll be good. It's using your brain, but it's like using the different side of the brain. Exactly. So I need to buy some new ones because the ones that I have, I figured them out. And so I was like, well, I already know them. So I don't want to do that.
Well, listen.
So if anybody has any ideas.
Too smart.
I'm trying. My brain. The brain is so powerful.
Man.
And that's what brings me back to dementia. Dementia, Alzheimer's is so cruel of a disease because it takes away the brilliance of a person in their mind. And my parents are educators, and I don't know. It's like, oh my gosh, and he's
nasty.
It's nasty. And so he's like forgetting. I'm just seeing him fade. And I also think it's a mix of his age, he's 79, the previous brain injury, and the grief. I think the grief is really taking a toll on him in a different way. I mean, he's already told me. He's told me that he wants to be with his wife. He said he wants to be with his wife. He wants to be with his best friend. That's where he wants to be. He's like, I'm not trying to go. Like, I'm not trying to do it myself. But when the time comes, just know that I'll be at peace because I'm going to be with my wife. So that gives me peace. That gives me peace. But it also breaks my heart because, like, you're my dad. Like, you're still my dad. Yeah. And when Mom passed, he's so deep into his grief. It's almost like I lost both of my parents because neither one of us have been the same.
Yeah.
But he's grieving as a husband and in a sense has almost forgotten that he's a dad still. And the tables are already turning anyway from me being a caregiver with him. So it's just complicated. It's complicated. And I'm like, man, grief is woo. It's a sneaky little bastard.
You hit it on the head though too, because when Granny was an educator too. So I recall people just saying, people talk about dementia and Alzheimer's as if not like it's a given, but as if it happens when they get old and, they forget things. It is not that simple. It is really not. It's a progressive disease. There's no going back. So the longer that you live with Alzheimer's, the more you forget. So people think, okay, well, they're forgetting people. They're forgetting everything. down to how to swallow food. Like if you have Alzheimer's and you live 15 years, let's say, with Alzheimer's, like you're gonna hit a point where you're forgetting that you even have to go to the bath. You don't know what that feels like in your body. So you're forgetting everything. So you forget how to use utensils, right? So when Granny was about to pass, like I had to feed her everything myself because she didn't understand fork and spoon. So, and people say these things, people don't know any better. They don't mean harm, but it is not the same. And for people who be like, oh, well, when you get older, so you just going back to being a baby. Yeah, but an adult baby with adult feelings and emotions and adult body parts and adult strength. Because if you're a caregiver to someone with, it can get they can get very aggressive and things. So it is not the same. Anyway, of course I went on a tangent, but you hit the nail on the head because the doctor was like, I'm kinda on a tangent. But the doctor was saying that when someone with dementia or Alzheimer's suffers something traumatic, such as the death of a partner, in your dad's case, in Granny's case, when my mother died, Granny's only child, immediately it started progressing. We didn't even know it was a thing. We didn't even know she was leaning that way. Within the year, she was to the point where she couldn't be alone. And the doctor outright told me when they are, when something traumatic happens, it speeds up the process. So if it was in them already, it's going to bring it to a head, and it's like, oh, we moving now, we moving. So that's exactly it, P. But are you in any like caregiving groups or in contact with any other caregivers or any kind of, well, I know you're in therapy, but is there any kind of caregiving support that you're a part of? I never was. So, but I'm just wondering if you are. It's a hard thing.
Well, yeah, because we talked about it before. Sometimes these groups, everybody is different. And so, especially with Mom, in a blessing, she wasn't as severe. Like she was a sweetheart in her soul. And so she wasn't aggressive, or now she ain't like no something, she's gonna tell you. But she wasn't, as they say, some people try to fight you and mean and say crazy things. She wasn't that. She wasn't that. Now with Dad, when he came, anytime he's had the seizures or a stroke, and they take the tube out and he's come out of that coma, he comes out aggressive. And they have to put the boxing type gloves on him in hospital and give him a few days for him to just right. And so I don't know, I'm praying that that's not where he leads. But like you mentioned, at first when she passed, he was in a denial state. I think it was so shocking to him that for the first 5 months, he was okay. He's always had this, and then I want to say the top of this year, February, it was a turn, something, it finally snapped for him, like, oh, no, she's gone. Like, for real. For real. And ever since then, it has just, whoa, the speed of light, like how fast the changes have come. And so the other day when he just said it again, he says, I want to be with my wife. And it's like, well, clearly they're not ready for you yet, because you're still here. I try to make them laugh or just I like, they're not ready yet. And Mama,
Hold your
give her a
horses.
minute. Hold your horses.
Yeah.
She just got up there. Let her have some peace. Let her walk around and just check things out for a little bit. Before you come, I'm sure she's just hold on. She'll come get you when it's time.
Yeah.
But it's not time yet. And everything he's gone through, his whole body, I'm telling you, my whole life, he's been through so much. And for him to be where he is now at 79 years old, for now to really be catching up with him, it's amazing, but it's also breaking my heart, of course, 'cause that's just my dad. But I'm here. I'm taking care of him. It's a blessing. I'm just going to enjoy the time that we have now. I try to make him laugh as much as possible. Some days he's really, really just sad. He's just sad. He just misses his wife. He listened to Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Miss You.
Okay.
If you go back and listen, girl, I was like, okay, he's having a moment.
Yeah, that's. Ooh, that's.
I miss you, miss you, miss you, miss you. I was like, okay, he'll just be in the man cave, listening to music, and I just let him be. I'm like, let me just. I mean, because Teddy is just, he is
wailing on that song.
He is wailing. He is, I miss you, baby. Like, he is saying it. And I just kind of peek in through the window and just let him have his moment. Because what can you do? There's nothing you can do except let him process that. And so, yeah.
Because even day by brain that's not struggling with any kind of trauma, it's still going to take you a while to process something like that. So then to have to process something like that while your brain is going through, I can understand why it's on a kind of a different timeline. That's the hard thing about life when people, family members, you're going through things that you cannot help with. There's literally nothing you can do. That's the hard part. But I want to say to you, P, whatever you want to do, girl, whatever sparks your fancy on any given day. And you've said this before, you're like, I'm cool with saying no, I'm cool with, and so I know you good, but on a day where you may not be good and something sparks your fancy, I just pray you don't feel not one way wrong about it, even if it means somebody else got to do something else because you ain't feeling it, or because you want to do this, or you want to let your inner child play today, or you want to see whatever. I just pray that you know that you deserve whatever it is, because when you're dealing with these kinds of things, again, this stuff is out of our hands. And you show up every day and you do the work, and you show up for your dad and you do the work, and you're doing what you can. You're doing what you can. There's not more that you can do. So you are not behind. You're not failing at this. I'm so sorry that this is round 2. I'm sorry that you have to make it through this. But that's also why I'm saying whatever you care to do on any given day, that's for you. That is you. That is for you to do. Even if it's like, you know what? I got to get the hell away from here. And I got to let somebody else look in at him this week, because I got to go see Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter in Atlanta. Or we got to go to Mexico, or we got whatever. Just, I pray you don't feel bad when you do get the opportunity to do something, or when it comes up, hey, I would love to do this. I pray that you allow yourself that, and that you're always giving yourself grace, because this is some of the hardest stuff that people have had to go through. And you have been having to do thing after thing after thing after thing since you were almost a child. And we can't control that, and we can't get around that. Fine. So when you want to do something, you do it. Okay? Or when you feel something,
Yeah.
if you want to scream right now, you can scream. I will edit it out. You do whatever you want to do, whatever you feel, whatever come up in your spirit. I don't care what it is. Give yourself grace, because this is not an easy thing. It's hard thing after hard thing after hard thing after hard thing. And you're still standing, and you're still here, and you're still caring, and you're still grieving. You're still all these things. Please give yourself grace, because it's going to be hard days and it's going to be okay days. But when it's a hard day, I just don't want you to turn around and look at yourself like, oh, I should be able to get out of bed today, or I should have done this for him or that for him today. God knows what you can do.
Yeah.
You do what you can do. And if you can't do it, you ain't supposed to do it today. Not right now.
Yeah. And you mentioned like the concert. I'm so excited for it. I'm excited for it, but I can't even get past March. Like, let me get past this week. I cannot think. July just seems so far away. And just how the days are going, it's just something every day. And so you're
doing a great job.
Whew. Thank you, friend.
That's it. If ever you feel like you're not, you're lying to yourself. Okay? I will call you, or I will text you. I'll tell you you're doing a good job. I'm not just saying that out my ass neither, P. I'm not.
Okay. Nope.
Okay?
I know you're not. I know
you're doing what you can do.
I know you're not.
And that's what you can do.
I just keep him safe and healthy as possible, and just taken care of, while also taking care of myself. Because like you said, I can't, with this happening now, I can't afford to be in the hospital. I can't make myself sick. I can't get sick. So I have to find ways to woosah.
You first.
Yes. Michelle Obama and her brother have a podcast, and the latest episode is called Caregivers Need to Care for Themselves, with Seth and Lauren Rogan. And I'm going to listen to it.
Oh, okay, Seth.
And see.
I like Seth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, Michelle and Craig. So I'm going to listen to that. And
of them with Issa Rae.
I saw that too. Yeah. It's Michelle Obama. So she's that girl. She's just there. Whatever she does, I'm there. I'm an Oprah person. I'm going to watch Oprah. I'm going to start there. And I really am. I'm going to find a way, or better ways to take care of myself and find joy. Again, I don't want to get so heavy with responsibility again that I lose the joy.
Right.
And the time that's with him. And he's a funny guy. Like, he just does stuff where I'm just like, Dad, what what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? But, and my mama told me, she said, your dad is a trip. Your dad's a trip. And I talk to her sometimes. I say, your husband down here cutting up. You need to tap him on his shoulder and tell him to straighten up. But it's funny you said, little Shonda, little Phyllis, when I get upset sometimes lately, you just stump your foot. You're like, like I
My child does that.
There are moments where I get mad and I just, I just, like, it just hits me. I'll be like, damn it. Like, oh. Just
you gotta hit something. You feel like you gotta hit something.
I gotta hit something. I was taking a boxing class. And sometimes I'll just throw my head back and look at the sky like, fuck, what's going on? Like, I
told you gotta cuss. I gotta cuss. You gotta look. God is okay.
I gotta cuss.
Take it. He's strong.
I've been cussing.
Okay.
I've been cussing.
Look, he already knew you was gonna cuss.
He's like, oh, she's to the point where she's cussing now.
Yeah.
My folks who've been on phone calls with me know that my vocabulary has,
expanded.
Yeah. all the cuss words. But at the end, God is good. And like with her, I just need to love him where he is, and just take care of him the best that I can. God's going to work it out all the time. He always does. He always does. And there are times when I'm like, man, what is, and I think he got it. He got it. And so I'm going to take your advice and not beat myself up. I'm going to give myself grace.
Please.
And talk to myself better. And because I'll be like, I wouldn't want nobody to, I don't allow people to talk to me crazy. So I shouldn't allow myself to talk to me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I need to work on that self-talk again, like you said, and just I'm doing the best that I can.
You are. Nobody is perfect. You know what I mean? You're a human being. Yep. You can only do so much. God knows you can only do so much. I think when we are caring for other people, sometimes we can hit ourselves harder because it's like, oh, I'm their advocate, or I'm the person who has to do XYZ if they need to have XYZ. So I have to be better, and I have to be on top of my shit, and I have to be. You're still just a human being, even though all that's going on. It don't change what you are. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you can only do what you can do. Every day that might not look like 100%. That's just what it's gonna be. Mm-hmm. That's what it's gonna be.
That's just what it's gonna be.
That's what it's gonna be. But feel whatever you feel, whenever you feel it. And if it's some joy that you feel in a moment, dig into that. Mm-hmm. You know, every day it's a one day at a time. One day at a time. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
He says that too. He says one day at a time. Yes, one day at a time.
It's the truth.
Ooh. Thank you for.
We love you, man.
Appreciate you. I love you back.
Guys, that got a little deep today.
Yeah.
We had some things we
took a turn.
Yeah. Not a bad turn. Sometimes you guys look, guys, guess what? Life is fucked up today. Here's what's going on behind the scenes. Okay? Sometimes you just gotta talk about it. You know?
And this is it. This is what we made this show for. And I'm grateful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Let us know what you do for self-care when your world's going to shit. If you are a caregiver and you found a way to keep your spirits high or on a low day, let us know, okay? We be needing the advice sometimes.
Please. Help a sister out.
Help us out. You can find us, okay? We on Instagram at the Everything Has Changed podcast. You can go to our website at everythinghaschangedpodcast.com/voicemail, and you can leave us some guidance, or you can tell us how you make it through those days, right? Or you can reach out to us personally. I am on Instagram and Threads at Hey Shaun the Head. P, where you at?
I'm at Instagram at Better3701. Hit me up.
Yeah, we out here. We need some help. Help us.
Help me. Help me. Help me. That's what I be asking. That's my prayer. Lord, help me. Help him.
Please.
Help me.
Yes.
Help me.
That's it. That's it, right, man. We thank y'all for listening
today. Thank you
today.
all.
We so appreciate you.
We love you.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Later.
Want to stay locked in with us so you never miss an episode? Visit everythinghaschangedpodcast.com and join our email list. That way you'll be the first to know about new episodes and all the fun stuff we have coming your way. Meet us over there.